Good morning. Welcome to this week's Toolbox Talk. Today we'll be discussing the switch from site docs to our new safety information platform called HSI. This is where we will be sending out training, have the ability to keep all training certificates and classes in one spot, incident management, and be able to do observations and assist the safety department. Site docs will not be going away completely. Equipment and vehicle inspections will be conducted on this platform. This will be for a limited time. Fleet department will be changing their program, but they will tell you about that when the time comes. The new way Toolbox Talks will be sent out is through the foreman. It is their responsibility to conduct the Monday morning training with their crews. This will be discussed more on how to do this in more detail in another video. First, all your iPads should have this icon on the screen. It should have been pushed out by Blue Line last week. If your iPad does not have it, please send safety a message and we can get that taken care of. If you prefer to use your phone, please contact safety and we can text you a link to bring it to download. This will take you to the login screen and you will have to enter your email and your passwords. Foreman, for training purposes and superintendents and above, will have these logins. Use these to practice and play around the system for the next week. Take some time to fill out checklists and incidents. At the end of this week, we will be able to delete all entries created by these two logins. So practice as much as you want. The difference between the logins is just the dashboard that you view, and we will show you that here in a little bit. Also, superintendents will be able to see what their foremen are doing. When you are practicing putting in forms this week, at this point, everyone will be able to read what you write. So please use discretion in what you're filling in on these forms. When we go live, the only things you will be able to read is what you have typed in, so you won't be able to see other incidents. The last thing we want to say about this system is this is brand new, and have some patience. It'll take days or even weeks to work out the kinks. If there's something you want to see on the dashboard or a checklist you want or need, please send a note to safety and we can work on these things. There are a bunch of things we can add and delete and modify to this program, and is much more robust than SiteDocs. So here we're going to look at the login screen, and this will be for the foreman signing in. And it'll bring you to this dashboard. The first thing on the left-hand side is the menu. This will give you a more detailed look on the items you have to put in your program. The top left is my open actions. This will be anything as assigned to you will show up, such as Toolbox Talks or any documents or something you have to look at. All these will show up here. Below is a pie chart for monthly incidents. It won't give you any details, but it will give you a running number on the different types of incidents we have. During the week, as people put in more incidents, this chart will fill in more. And you can see here as you hover over that, it'll tell you how many incidents there were for that month. The 4 buttons across the screen are the actions you can do. We'll go through them in a second. In the middle of the dashboard is my incomplete checklist and completed checklist. You'll see as you go through these, it'll fill in as you create these. And over here are my reported observations. And again, we'll go through these in a second. The first button we'll go through here is Assess Documents. As you can see right now, there are some documents here that you can reach. The Stanley Martin Safety Health Safety Manual is in here, the Prestige Handbook, and these will fill in more as we move along. The next button we'll look at here is Complete a Checklist. You have checklist names. You'll have different checklists in here, and a lot of them you probably won't even use. Up at the top, you'll have some monthly fire extinguisher, PPE equipment, building inspections. Those are for safety. But you have request for PPE, which is a new one, a soil classification. A lot of these checklists were the same that were on site docs. So let's go through the request for PPE. And we're going to say I'm a foreman at a job site. Whatever job site is you're at, you can put that in here. We'll just say Fincastle. Link to an asset record, you're going to say no. Pretty much for anything you guys are going to do in the field, you're going to click that no button. We can show you how that would work if it needs to be used. You complete a new checklist, and you can go through this here. You just put in your name. When you log in, your name will always be here at the first one. That'll be your login. But let's say you're putting in a checklist for me. You can put that in. The date, you just highlight that, click location, where we said we're at Fincastle. And here is where we're doing a little bit more of inventory control. We just want to know who's getting what. And let's say it's the pipe crew. Now, keep in mind, this is not, we're not going to say you can't have any PPE. We just want to get our arms around the money that's being spent. So pipe crew items you need. This is a uh, multi-select here. You can do hard hat, gloves, safety glasses, whatever. So here you have helmet color. I need a white one. How many? You just type it in. One. And here are more selections that you can do. Glove size. I need some mediums and some large. Right here, mediums, 12 per pack. One. I need one pack. Large gloves, I need one pack. Safety glasses. Do you like the dark or the clear? Everyone likes the dark. How many do you need? I need 2 pair. And you complete it. Now I want to keep in mind with the new PPE request, this does not mean safety is going to drop everything we're doing and run PPE out to your location. The thought on this is we can have boxes ready for the superintendents when they come in on Fridays or Mondays for their meetings, and we can give it to them. Or if we are out checking in on sites, we can have that ready for you guys to go. Personnel, completed checklist, and there it is right there. It'll drop down into that field. That's something like that on a checklist we'll get in safety. We can view it, and we can help you out with getting any items that you need. Please spend some time this week in filling out the checklists. We'll probably take some of the stuff that's safety only. We'll probably take that off for now. Uh, there's no reason for you guys to be doing a job hazard assessment or anything like that. So we'll just narrow it down to checklists that you guys are going to use. The next thing on this dashboard is report and observation. You can click on that. And here is the observation types: a potential hazard, an unsafe behavior, or a shout out. A shout out is, as you know, in our monthly newsletter, we give a safety shout out every month. And this will help us if you guys want to congratulate your crew on doing a good job, or you see somebody doing a good job, you can fill that out and send it in. So when you're doing an observation, let's say we're going to see an unsafe behavior. A potential hazard is, let's say you're doing a job and you say, something here is not right. Maybe we can change a procedure or how we do things. You can mark that as a potential hazard. And you have different hazard categories here: safety, physical, ergonomic, work. And then you describe in details what's going on. Unsafe behavior is the same thing. Person observed. Now, any logins here are going to be for foreman and above. So we're not going to see, you won't have any, just laborers will not be in this system. So if the person's name is not in the system, then you can just put your own name in, and that's, you're not reporting on yourself. But on the action, you can say Tim observed someone doing something. All right. Now, this right here, you can see it does have a spell check on there. So we have Tim observed someone doing something. If you have any pictures, that's where you can put them here. This is a person observed by, I saw it. So we're going to put that in there again. And departments, it's going to list all departments as a default. You can just put it in there. Tim was messing around. So all this will go in here. You have some pictures of someone messing around. You complete that, and that goes, again, that goes to the safety. And what you'll see here is in this top corner, you'll see stage, new observation. That'll tell you how it's going along in the process. We'll get that in safety. We'll get that observation, and we'll somehow either we may have to call you to ask some more questions, or we may be able to look at the pictures and see what's going on. But if we change that and we're investigating, it'll say stage, new observation. Instead, it'll say stage, investigation, or stage closed. We might say something like, yeah, we know, don't worry about it. We got it handled, or something like that, or we'll take care of it. It might say closed, and that'll come up. If you go back here, when it starts going through the process, if we need more information, that'll show up in my actions. Okay, so that's report and observation. The last thing here is report an incident. And again, this was the same way it was in site docs. Brief title, uh, we hit a gas line at Norman Creek. So here you're going to do property damage, or let's just say it was a utility strike. We didn't do any damage, it was just a utility strike. The date and time of that, the training, that's going to be your login, incident details. We hit the line. Where we were at, where do we say we were at? Norman Creek. So we just click down here to Norman Creek. Location, let's say it's near the pond. Were there any witnesses to it? No. And this is where you upload your pictures. Again, this is especially if you hit a line that's not marked or it's poorly marked. This is where you want to take as many pictures as you can and put it in there. And that'll help us down the road with when we're disputing any charge that comes back to us. So after that, you hit complete, and that's it. You continue to the incident report, and there you go. That's all you have to do. The stage is incident reported. If you want to do add analysis review, this will be done something by safety. We'll click on that. Root cause analysis, we're going to do all those things. Again, we may have to call you for an incident. Incident categories, utility strike. Right now the report's on time because you just made it. Recordable statuses for any sort of injuries. So again, go back to your dashboard. And now we just added another utility strike that is changing. Okay. So another thing here is you can do a quick add here. This is what this button's for. Quick add. If you want to click that, there's your checklist incident report observation, the same that you have across the top. Incident report. The one thing I will show you is this. Let's say a vehicle that had property damage, and let's even say you needed someone got hurt. Just say MVA. Date of time of incident was that training. It was a car wreck. Um, Now we're at Kinsdale. I don't think I said anything. No, we're at Kinsdale. Location in the road. Any witnesses? If there's yes, you can type in who the witnesses were. No, there weren't. Again, here's where you put your pictures of the damage of anything that happened. You complete it. I'm going to show you something else that appears on some of these. Continue to the incident report. And here's what you have. All right. We had an injury and illness. We had an injury. We had property damage and vehicle damage. Okay. And now you'll see these three tabs over here. This will be something that safety will go through when we do the incident report. Again, this does not take place of calling us in the safety department if something happens. We still want to be notified of everything. But for example, add injury or illness. This is where you start getting into um, for people that are hurt, first aid on site, injury classification. It starts to get more detailed as you move on. So again, you bounce back to this page, and this is add the vehicle details. This is where you might have to do was it a company vehicle? Yes. And this is where it's going to be linked to an asset. We have just general things here, curb machines, dozers, dump trucks. We don't have the actual number of the machines or trucks. So we'll just say it was a pickup truck. We can't do it. That's already filled. The vehicle description. Yes, it needed towing. Truck. We'll just make up 1111. give the details of the damage, other information, and then you can continue. And again, this is something where safety is probably going to be filling this out. No, it wasn't. Accident details, you have to fill it. Anything that pops up, you can't continue until all fields have been done. All right, so that's going to be just sitting there. But that's another vehicle incident, injury and illness, property damage. That again, as the foremen are filling this out, you're going to see this pie chart get numbers in there really quick. Um, and that's it. That's all that's going to be there. Unsafe behavior that was observed. That's going to be sitting there. My reported observations. And we are encouraging everybody to go and just take a couple minutes each morning, take a look at it, practice filling out a checklist and or filling out an incident report. Again, it's not technically live yet. It's we'll say it's kind of live, and we'll be able to delete everything off those logins before we go for real on in a couple weeks. When we do go live, you'll know it because you will get an email that says you have to change your password to log into HSI. That's when you know we'll be going for real. So right now I'm going to log out of this and log in as a superintendent. Okay, this is what the dashboard is going to be for superintendents and above. This is what it's going to look like. A little bit different, but it has a lot of the same functionality. Your complete a checklist and report an incident buttons are here. The only difference is if you want to see the documents, it doesn't have a separate button like that for it, but it's the same thing. The documents are right here. You'll be under the management dashboard. And again, over on the right hand side here, you have a monthly incidents. You don't have a pie chart here. You just have it uh, as the numbers are going up for this month. Open actions for me and my team. This is where you'll be able to see if they get assigned training or if they get assigned a document they have to sign or anything like that. That'll be sitting here. So you'll be able to see what gets assigned to your people and also what if there's any open things that need to be looked at. Checklists escalated to me. We're going to probably do some automatic things that are escalated to the superintendents. We have to kind of work through that process on our end. But confined space will be one of them that checklist will automatically go to the superintendent so they know if somebody's going into a confined space. Observations reported to me. Again, those are your people that'll be doing observations. Those will show up here. The big difference on the superintendent dashboard is this incident management module. You'll be able to see these in a little more detail. You'll have the yearly numbers, you'll have the monthly numbers here, and as you can see, property damage, Mojave, Carolina Ridge, these are broken down more into locations also. It gives you a little more information. All right. So first aid Stanton, it gives you more information so you can the uh, superintendents can see what's going on at their properties. It gives them a little more breakdown. Also, if there's an incident investigation that hasn't been started or is in progress that involves some of your people, same thing. Um, the That'll show up here at the bottom. The last thing, I'm going to jump back to a checklist really quick. A quick ad there on a checklist. One of the things I did want to see here, we have an employee warning form on here. It's not going to be linked. We're going to hit complete. And this, if you need to write up somebody for anything safety wise, it's in here. Date of an incident, location, supervisor's name. And again, the name here, it's not required. It's not a required, so it's not going to kick you out. So let's say it's somebody that's just a laborer and doesn't have their name in here as an email. You can just list their name there. It's not the drop down for a the drop down name is not a required action. The behaviors, you have the same thing like it was in site docs. Detailed, give as much detail as you can. Disciplinary action, verbal, written, sent home without pay, suspended without pay, terminated. This right here, corrective action to be taken, might be retrained, it might be sent home for 2 days. This is the time, this is what you write in here. This kind of right here is more for the employee that's being written up. I've read the notice and understand it. They can say yes or no. If they refuse to sign it, this is where the person that's writing them up will click yes, they refuse to sign it, and the signatures go here. This is a touch screen here, so you can have on your iPad, you can have them just put their signature on there. Put the date and time that they signed it, which is not going to be the same time as the incident that happened. So put the date and time that they signed it, and then you can complete it. I don't know if it'll let me complete it because we don't have those there. So continue to checklist record. And then you have the employee warning form that's sitting right here. The employee warnings also get kicked over to HR. So they'll automatically go to there, and they will see anything that gets a warning attached to it, and also put that in the Dayforce HR side of things. So that concludes our training for today. Again, right here is the 2 logins you want to use. For foreman, use the training at Prestige. For superintendents and above, use safety department, which is going to be DPT. Safety DPT at prestigecore.com. Those are your passwords. Use those. Play around with the incidents and reporting applications of this module, of this program. And one of the main reasons why we're switching this is it's a much more robust on the reporting end, that we can do a lot more reporting functions than site docs. Next week it'll probably be a much shorter video, but we'll have where we give you guys the training, any training modules that come out, and we'll talk more about that, and also the hazardous materials, the SDFs, the chemical sheets, and where to find those. So thank you very much. Myself and Juan will be out we'll try to get to just about all the sites this week, so we can talk to the foremen and the superintendents and make sure you guys are checking the program out. And if you have any questions, we'll help you out as much as we can. Thank you very much.